What if the first thing you said this morning shaped your entire day? Why do we let yesterday's failures speak louder than today's possibilities? You weren't created to start your day in silence, you were made to speak life. Let's be honest, most of us wake up and instantly feel the weight of the world. Emails, bills, regret. That one conversation from last week that still echoes in our heads. Before our feet even hit the floor, we've already surrendered the day to fear, shame, or just plain weariness. But what if I told you, it doesn't have to be that way? See, every morning is not just a routine, it's a spiritual opportunity, a reset, a doorway into something deeper. And it starts not with coffee, not with scrolling through your phone, but with your mouth, with the words you choose to speak, because the truth is your voice has power, not just poetic, feel-good power. I'm talking about eternal, creative, prophetic power, the kind of power that doesn't come from your job title, your bank account, or your social network, but from the authority God placed in you before the foundation of the world. When you speak in agreement with God's promises over your life, you're not just talking, you're building. You're not just wishing, you're warring. This isn't self-help. It's not positive thinking wrapped in Christian language. This is spiritual warfare in its purest form. When you speak blessings over yourself, you are reclaiming what fear tried to steal. You're aligning your life not with the chaos around you, but with the kingdom within you. So let me ask you, what have you been speaking over your mornings? Do your words reflect defeat or destiny? Because you get to decide whether your mouth echoes the past or declares the future. And if you're ready to make that shift, here's your first move. Take a moment right now and type in the comments, "I declare blessings over my life," starting now. Don't whisper it. Don't second guess it. Declare it. Then like this video, if you believe your words carry weight, and share it with someone who needs to wake up speaking power, not pain. You weren't created to survive your mornings. You were created to command them. So today start speaking like someone who knows heaven is listening, because it is. You see. Once we understand that mornings are meant to be commanded, not simply endured, it changes how we show up. No longer passive, no longer letting the atmosphere decide our attitude. We start speaking like we believe heaven is listening, because it is. But here's the deeper truth. Your words don't just shape your mood, they shape your world. The atmosphere around you responds to what you say. So if all you ever do is echo fear, frustration, and failure, don't be surprised if your day starts to resemble exactly that. But if you begin to speak what God has already said about you, if you choose belief over feelings, then everything begins to shift. Not always instantly, but always intentionally. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the tension in the air, like you could slice it with a knife? That's atmosphere. Now imagine your voice cutting through that tension, with noise, but with faith. That's power. That's divine authority at work. This is where it gets real. Speaking life isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about declaring what's true, even when your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Faith doesn't deny reality, it redefines it. So today, we speak with intention over every part of our lives, not because we're trying to manifest our will, but because we're aligning with His will. Let's begin where it all starts, your spiritual position. When you wake up, don't stumble into the day reacting to your schedule. Step into it with purpose. Look in the mirror and remember you are not random. You are chosen, redeemed, empowered. You didn't just wake up, you were assigned to this day. And from that identity, we speak peace over the most chaotic battleground, the mind. So many of us live at war with our thoughts, overthinking, spiraling through what ifs, but Scripture says, we have the mind of Christ. That means clarity is yours, wisdom is yours. Peace is not a wish, it's a weapon. So today, declare it. I have peace in my thoughts. I make wise decisions. I hear the voice of God clearly. Now, speak to your body. Yes, your physical body. Not as something to criticize, but as a vessel of divine purpose. Call strength into your bones, healing into your organs, vitality into your steps. Even if you feel tired, Devin, if you're battling illness, don't let that silence your voice. Say it anyway. I am strong. I am healing. I am renewed like the eagle. Because what you speak in faith, heaven begins to reinforce. Let's talk about finances. This one's tricky because culture has twisted it so much. But provision isn't about greedy, it's about kingdom purpose. Declare this. I am not a beggar. I'm a steward. I operate in overflow so I can bless others. Jobs are resources, but God is the source. Promotion doesn't come from striving, it comes from alignment. You're not chasing money, you're following mission. Now, turn your attention to relationships. Some of you are connected to people who drain your soul. It's time to cancel every alliance that doesn't serve your purpose and invite divine connections that breathe life into your walk. Say this: every voice in my life must align with peace, purpose, and honor. Speak forgiveness where there's been pain. Speak restoration where there's been distance. Let your relationships be a living reflection of God's love. What about your purpose? You weren't born to blend in. You weren't created to doubt your gift or hide behind fear. Declare it now. I am called. I am appointed. I am stepping into doors that God has opened for me. Stop waiting to feel ready. Boldness is a decision, not a personality trait. Your destiny doesn't begin when you're fearless. It begins when you're faithful. Next, your speech. The tongue is small, but it builds or it breaks. Your words are either planting seeds of power or scattering weeds of poison. No more idle gossip, no more sarcastic jabs, no more negative scripts on repeat. Speak what builds, speak what honors, speak what aligns with heaven. Every sentence should be a seed of faith. Now, don't forget protection. Too often we live in fear of the unknown. What if this happens? What if that falls apart? But today, you don't walk out the door uncovered. Speak it. No weapon formed against me will prosper. I am shielded. I am surrounded. Divine protection doesn't mean no storms. It means no storm will break you. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You're walking in covenant. Every part of your life, your thoughts, your body, your wallet, your relationships, your calling needs to hear your voice speaking blessing. This is not about pretending your problems don't exist. It's about choosing to respond from authority, not anxiety. Let your declarations today be loud enough to shake doubt. Let them be bold enough to invite miracles. Let them be consistent enough to build legacy, because heaven isn't moved by complaints. It's moved by faith-filled confessions. You are not voiceless. You are not powerless. You carry the sound of victory in your mouth. So speak it. Speak it until your soul believes it. Speak it until angels respond. Speak it until fear backs down and peace rises up. This isn't hype. It's holy. It's not a ritual. It's a realignment. And it starts with the words you say right now. I declare blessings over my life, not later now. Let this not just be a prayer you listen to. Let it become the new rhythm of your life. Speak faith. Speak truth. Speak like heaven is backing every word, because it is. There's something sacred about reaching this point in the journey where you're no longer just speaking blessings over external circumstances, but turning inward, because the deepest breakthroughs don't always happen in the visible. They happen in the heart, in the hidden conversations you have with yourself, in the quiet war zones of the mind. So here's the question: what kind of story have you been telling yourself? Are your thoughts full of self-sabotage, shame, or comparison? Have you become fluent in phrases like "I'm not good enough" or "it's too late for me"? If so, I need you to hear this. Those narratives are not your truth. They are not your inheritance. They're echoes of wounds, not whispers of God. Today, we speak a better word, because it's time to break the cycle. Every toxic pattern that's held you back, every belief rooted in fear rather than faith, gets confronted right now. You were not created to live on autopilot, reacting to emotional triggers and reliving old pain. You were created to walk in freedom, in joy, in peace, in liberty. So say this with me: I speak life over my emotions. I release myself from the lies I've believed. I am not defined by what hurt me. I am defined by who heals me. There's power in blessing even the places that broke you. It sounds strange, doesn't it, to bless what hurt you, to thank God for the storm, to smile at the memory of a season that almost ended you. But that's what restoration looks like. It's not pretending the fire didn't happen, it's realizing you came out refined. It's not denying the betrayal, it's recognizing the wisdom it planted in your discernment. It's understanding that God does some of His best work in the dark. Think about it. Seeds grow underground, wounds heal beneath the skin. Babies are formed in the womb, hidden from the world. So why do we doubt God when He hides us? Why do we panic in seasons of silence, as if He's forgotten us? What feels like delay is often divine design. What looks like a detour might just be the very road that leads to destiny. Let's bless the hidden seasons. Let's bless the silence that taught us to listen. Let's bless the unanswered prayers that matured our faith. Because nothing has been wasted. Now, look at your reflection, not just physically, but spiritually. What names have you been answering to? What labels did trauma try to tattoo on you? Unworthy, damaged, too much, not enough. Those are lies, cultural projections, emotional scars masquerading as truth. You are not what happened to you. You are not the worst thing you've done, or the worst thing someone said about you. You are a child of the King. You are anointed to shift atmospheres. You are appointed to carry light in dark places. You are not fragile. You are dangerous to darkness. So speak to that false identity and cancel the contract. Say this out loud. I reject every label that didn't come from God. I renounce every voice that tried to shrink me. I rise in my true identity, chosen, empowered, and free. Let your voice become the instrument of healing, not just for others, but for yourself. Let your words rebuild what silence tore down. Let your praise fill the spaces where shame used to live. Let your declarations be louder than your doubts, because you are not called to whisper. When God has given you a trumpet, use that voice to bless your journey, to bless your brokenness, to bless the process that made you deeper, not bitter. Maybe no one sees the battle you've been fighting. Maybe your smile has been a mask for years, but today, you take the mask off. Today, you stop apologizing for healing out loud. Say it boldly. I am not ashamed of my scars. They are signs that I survived. My pain has a purpose, and my story carries redemption. This is what it means to speak blessings by faith, not just over your schedule or your career, but over your inner world, over the parts of you that never made it to your prayer list because you were too used to hiding them. But now, nothing stays hidden. Now, everything comes into the light, not to expose, but to heal. So let's walk forward differently. Let's not speak out of fear. Let's speak from identity. Let's not rehearse old pain. Let's release new purpose. Because when you bless your inner world, the outer world begins to reflect it. No more self-sabotage. No more spiritual amnesia. No more living below the level of your calling. This is the moment you remember who you are. This is the moment you rise. Speak life. Speak truth. Speak like someone who finally believes that their voice holds weight. Because it does. Now that you've reclaimed your voice and begun speaking life over your inner world, it's time to lift your eyes outward. Because this journey was never just about you. It's about what flows through you, what echoes beyond your timeline, what your words set in motion long after your voice goes quiet. Your voice isn't just a healing instrument, it's a legacy seed. Think about this. How many people do you pass by each day who are one word away from giving up? One encouragement away from breathing again. One "you're not alone" away from standing back up. You have the power to speak breakthrough into someone else's atmosphere. Your words can carry joy into a home that's grown heavy. They can carry strength into a heart that's starting to break. You don't need a stage to prophesy, you just need compassion. So speak it. I declare blessings over every person connected to my life. May my words lift, not wound. May they build, not break. This is what spiritual maturity looks like, when we shift from waiting to receive blessings to becoming a blessing. When your identity is rooted in heaven, you stop needing to control how others see you. You stop reacting from insecurity and start leading from confidence. You begin to speak promises instead of problems, faith instead of fear. This is where spiritual authority is born, not from volume, but from alignment. Say this now. I decree from a place of victory, not I walk with heaven's backing. I speak with divine permission. You're not whispering hope into the void. You're speaking with the full weight of God's word behind every syllable. So when you speak peace, heaven hears it. When you declare breakthrough, angels move. You're not just praying, you're legislating. You're not begging, you're establishing. And it doesn't stop at declarations, it continues with habits. Because the destiny you desire is built in the details you repeat. Excellence isn't a sudden miracle, it's a daily rhythm. So bless your patterns, bless your focus, bless your discipline. Say it out loud. I choose consistency over chaos. I choose diligence over distraction. I reject procrastination. I reject passivity. Don't confuse burnout with purpose. You weren't created to hustle until you collapse. You were created to build from rest, to produce with peace, to work from grace, not guilt. Have you ever noticed that when you're fully present, your best flows naturally? That's because alignment fuels excellence. When your spirit is clear, your hands create with clarity. So bless your work not because it earns your worth, but because it reflects God's fingerprints through you. Now we return inward. but not to hide, to surrender. There are still pieces within us that need healing, old scars that still ache when triggered, moments we thought we buried, but they still whisper when it's quiet. It's time to bless those places too, not ignore them, not numb them. Bless them. Invite God into them. Say this gently: I bless every part of me that still aches. I don't curse my wounds, I surrender them. I don't hide my scars. They are reminders that grace carried me. There's nothing weak about that. It's the bravest kind of faith, trusting that even what broke you can become beautiful again. Even what delayed you can be used for destiny. Even the nights you cried alone are now being repurposed for someone else's healing. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every detour has depth. Every trauma that tried to define you is now being rewritten by truth. Let peace return to your nervous system. Let strength return to your spirit. Let light return to the places where confusion used to camp out. You are not what you went through. You are who God says you are. You are not behind, you are being prepared. You are not too late, you are right on time for purpose. So as we close this chapter of the prayer, don't just listen, participate, declare, receive, release. Let today be the day you stop waiting to feel whole before speaking like you are. Let this moment be the bridge between where you've been and where you're headed. Say it again with clarity: I bless my future. I bless my legacy. I bless every habit, every step, every decision I make from this point forward. Not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. Not because you've arrived, but because you've awakened. God has entrusted you with breath, with life, with influence. So speak like someone who's aware of that weight. Speak like someone who understands that your words don't die. They multiply, they plant seeds, they break chains, they shape generations. Let this be the moment you plant with intention. Speak like a person building a garden for your children to walk through. Speak like a person paving roads for others to run farther than you did. Speak like a person who knows the echo of your voice can become the foundation of someone else's breakthrough, because you weren't created just to exist. You were created to multiply, to shift atmospheres, to leave a mark that heaven recognizes. So now, let's say it together one last time in this part of the journey. I am a vessel of blessing. I carry peace. I live with purpose. I create from grace. I walk in legacy. I speak with power. That is who you are. That is what you carry. That is why you're here. You've made it here through the lifting, the healing, the realigning. Now we arrive at the summit of it all. Not the end, but the beginning of how you walk out everything you've just spoken. Because declarations without action are just noise. But declarations spoken in faith, followed by movement, become divine catalysts. Your words are not light. They're not small. They're not optional. They are weapons. They are blessings. They are instruments of transformation. Every time you open your mouth in alignment with heaven, something shifts, maybe not visibly at first, but deep in the fabric of your future. So let's be clear. Your words shape your world. That's why you can't afford to speak from insecurity anymore. You can't afford to echo fear, frustration, or failure. Speak from identity, not from anxiety. Speak as someone who knows where they're seated, not where they've been stuck. You are a child of God, a carrier of light, a steward of kingdom authority. So when you speak today, don't shrink, don't hold back, don't wait to feel ready. Say it now. I speak from who I am in Christ, not who the world told me to be, not who fear painted me to be. I speak from identity. Let your words unlock the gifts that have been buried too long. Let your voice call forth the talents you've been hiding. Let your language invite the boldness you thought you lost. Have you been waiting for the perfect time? Here's the truth: it's already here, not because all the conditions are perfect, but because you are in alignment. There's divine timing over your life. Doors are waiting for your voice to unlock them. Destiny is leaning in, waiting for your yes. So speak it. I declare that every gift in me is now activated. Every delayed dream is now accelerating. I walk in God's timing, not man's. There are things you've been praying for that are already in motion. They're just waiting for you to agree out loud. Speak as if what you carry matters, because it does. This is also the time to bless the seasons that don't feel productive. The waiting rooms, the detours, the not yet places. Say this gently. I bless the waiting. I trust what I cannot yet see. I know that silence is not abandonment, it's preparation. Even your delays are pregnant with purpose. Even your pauses are soaked in strategy. And while you're waiting, you are still planting. Even now, Your words are traveling farther than you can imagine, into the future, into your lineage, into generations you may never meet. There are children not yet born, who will walk through the doors you opened with your obedience today. There are descendants who will rise with courage, because you refuse to stay silent. Legacy isn't just about what you leave behind, it's about what you speak forward. So say it with faith. I speak life over my children even if I haven't met them yet. I speak blessings over my lineage even if I'm the first in my bloodline to believe like this. You are shifting the story. You are rewriting the narrative. You are not just surviving, you are establishing spiritual legacy. Let this truth settle in. You are not weak. You are not stuck. You are not voiceless. You are empowered. You are chosen. You are anointed for such a time as this. So rise up in it, walk in it, speak from it, and never apologize for it again. Say it now with authority. I let legacy outlive my limitations. I refuse to be small where God has called me to stand tall. This is more than a prayer. This is a positioning, a recalibration, a moment that marks the shift from silence to sound, from fear to faith, from delay to divine movement. So before you go, declare one last time out loud, in the comments, in your spirit, with your whole heart, I am blessed. Say it again until your soul catches up. Say it until every lie loses its grip. Say it until you feel strength rise in your chest. You are blessed not because life is easy, but because God is with you. You are blessed not because you've earned it, but because you've received it. You are blessed not in a shallow, kind of way, but in a deep-rooted, heaven-backed kind of way. Now take this blessing and carry it with you, to your family, to your friends, to your workplace, to your future. Don't keep this moment to yourself. Share this with someone who's starving for hope. Text it, post it, send it to your group chat. Let it ripple. There's someone waiting to hear a voice like yours speak life into their dry place. This isn't the end. It's the start of a new rhythm, a new declaration, a new level of spiritual clarity. You weren't created just to survive. You were created for victory. You were created for authority. You were created for a life anchored in the Word and overflowing in power. So go now, walk like it's already answered. Speak like the breakthrough is already here. Live like the blessing is already active, because it is.